can't even try and express any kind of empathy for all the that you said. Get over it.
Wow, well, there was a lot of drama on last night's Bachelor Win and Tell All episode.
Definitely was. We're now down to 2 women vying for Nick's heart, but luckily we have 2 lovely people here to help break it all down for us. Season 20 Bachelor cast member Caila Quinn, and for the very first time, people now from the previous season of The Bachelorette, Luke Pell. So good to have you here.
Hello.
Thanks for joining both.
All right.
Yes,
we're going to get to the details from last night's episode in just a second, but first, Luke, you were almost the season's Bachelor.
Yeah.
So what is it like watching Nick trying to find love here?
It's interesting. I mean, I feel for the guy. He's always whoever's in that position is usually a tough position to be in.
No doubt.
Yeah, but it's interesting to think about if it was how close it was to being me. So.
And probably putting yourself in those situations.
Yeah.
Too.
And probably plenty of times where if you're like, I mean, I wasn't close to being the Bachelor, but there are plenty of times where I'm like, my gosh, I would not want to be in that moment at all. Do you have moments like that as you
Oh my God, there's so many situations. You're like, okay, that's awkward.
Yeah.
I do not want to be in his shoes right now.
What grade would you give Nick so far this season?
Grade? I mean, that's tough.
You can be real.
I mean,
you can be harsh.
he passed on a curve, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
Passed on a curve. I like that. Yeah, right.
Well, it seems like Raven would give Nick an A, or maybe this O face.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I like what you did.
Remember last week she revealed she'd never had an orgasm before. Sorry, Mom. I feel like every time you say orgasm on the show, I have to say sorry.
Yeah.
We didn't get a definite answer on what happened in the fantasy suite, but we did get something even better. So we've got our cube emojis ready, Facebook Live.
Luke loves these, by the way.
Let us know
Can't
what you
wait.
think of this scene. Watch.
I will say this, Nick is really good at what he does. So I'm pretty satisfied today.
Oh my gosh, I love a post-fantasy suite dance sequence montage. Of course, this is the face.
This is
thumbs
all
up.
implied what
Right.
happened with like the
Of course,
dancing.
it's implied subtly, not so subtly. Kayla, you have been in the fantasy suite.
I have.
What'd you think of the end of Raven's date?
I thought that was great. I feel like you should celebrate when you get one of those, and so it just made me laugh.
One of those dates
Were
or
you
whatever
dancing
else?
around?
Oh my God.
I don't dance and tell.
Now, Luke, you're a Southern guy.
Yeah.
Raven's from Arkansas. I mean, what do you think about her?
I mean, I think she's a great girl. I haven't met Raven yet, but I mean, it's funny how like so many fans just tag us on social media like, oh my God, they should get married. Like,
Yeah, look immediately, right?
ship them.
she likes mud and four-wheelers, so
Yeah.
Must be a match made in
It
heaven.
could be
Yeah.
you rolling around in the mud with Raven.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Makes sense. If you roll
Somebody,
around,
they like cut my head off and put it on Nick's body.
Oh, really?
For their hometown day. Yeah, I saw
So
that.
cool.
Pop-
That's
a meme
cute.
popped
have you
up.
ever rolled in the mud with anyone? I mean, we were talking about like this
I
is kind of
mean-
like a dream, but does it ever really happen? I don't know.
I mean, usually I haven't really rolled in the mud.
Okay.
I mean, that's a whole other step of country right there.
That is
Yeah.
another
I
step.
was like, wow, they're like in the swamp.
Yeah,
They're
like
real
real
dirty.
deal.
Maybe it's for TV and everything.
Yeah, right. So Nick followed up his date with Raven with a little cross-country skiing date with Rachel, and then a dip in the sauna, and then the cold water with Vanessa that went back and forth and back and forth. In the end, Rachel got the boot, as we all know. No surprise at all. She's the next Bachelor. Let us to this moment, though. Facebook Live, let us know your reaction to this scene.
How much I know you're amazing and how much I think about it all the time, and that has never changed, and that will never change.
The
So
tears.
we weren't surprised here. We know that she's the next Bachelorette. But what did you think of how she handled things, Kayla?
I thought she was very elegant, and she wasn't very confrontive, which is really nice. And I think she just was really sad.
I know.
She was sad, but again, it was just like, oh man, I would have really felt that moment if I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah,
the whole time.
exactly.
Spoiler, it's all
It's
happening.
so hard to watch a moment like that when you already know like that she's gonna be the Bachelor.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Have we still got an answer why they did that? We have to figure that
Yeah,
out.
well, eventually. We'll know
Eventually.
when Chris Harrison comes back here, we'll get to the bottom.
Yeah.
So, Luke, now Southern Belle Raven, Canadian special education teacher Vanessa, they're the only
Yeah.
2 women remaining. If you were the Bachelor, who do you pick? I know, this is on, look.
I need
Yeah,
that.
Kayla
I
Gass
know.
is on the
God.
spot, Luke.
Look, I'm really big about. It's hard for me to judge it from the outside looking in. Like I have to have chemistry. I have to know if the emotional connection is there or not. So, I mean, looking at their resume, I guess from this
Sure,
from
just
this
the
standpoint,
exteriors.
I would say that Vanessa has the winning the Bachelor resume. The special education teacher from Canada. She's a sweetheart. Like she has all the bullet points.
And
of that. So,
she's not won over very easily. Like, I love that she's
Exactly.
always kind of pushed back, but she's
Yeah.
still there and in it, which
Yes.
is like a cool, I don't know,
Absolutely.
interesting
Good
mix.
answer. Hey YouTube, don't forget to like this video and leave a comment if you enjoyed it. And for more people now, click on the subscribe button down here.
And check out more great video right now by clicking on one of these links.